Okay, so I started on this yesterday, just got sort of an hour in before I finished for the day, and I just started working on these trees here, but I'm going to finish those today and hopefully get the water done as well. So I'm going to film that, and we're going to try and get this group of trees looking as good as we can in the shortest amount of time we can. We don't want to be spending weeks on it, just get it done, move on to the next bit, but it should still look quite good. So I'm going to do that today, mainly I think using a rigger, and then probably I'll go over it afterwards with something a little bit less regular that's going to give more of a sort of an uneven effect. But let's get going on it now and see how we get on.
You down, and I know that I was not always around. I made you feel alone. You spent most of your nights just sitting on your own. I should have done so much more, like giving you the things you asked me for. And I know I was wrong. It's what I try to tell you with my song, tell you with my song. What if I said I'm sorry? What if I'd make a scene? Wouldn't that make you mine again? You're all I'll ever need. Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while? I know that I've done so many things that let you down, but I hope that you give me one more chance to make you mine. When I close my eyes.
Just need a few more darker areas in here. So a little bit flat, and I can see there's some sort of darker sort of shades under the canopies in this area here. So I'm going to do that now before I put some of the canopies on, and I'll just do it with a little bit of a glaze of ivory black.
What if I said I'm sorry? What if I make a scene? Wouldn't that make you mine again? You're all I ever need. Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while? I know that I've done so many things that let you down, but I hope that you give me one more chance to make you mine. What if I said I'm sorry? 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 What if I make a scene? Wouldn't that make you mine again? You're all I ever need. Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while? What if I said I'm sorry? What if I make a scene? Wouldn't that make you mine again? You're all I ever need. Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while?
I'm getting to a point now where it's starting to look finished, but it's not quite there. It's just a little bit more detail I'm going to add. I'm going to put a bit more detail to the trunks and putting a few more branches in there, and also just add a few more just little areas of highlights, and then that should finish pretty much that area of trees off. One thing I also might do is just put in a few gaps near the tree line where you can see the sky through, so it doesn't look quite so solid. But apart from that, yeah, we're almost there. So adding the details of the branches here, I'm using the same rigger brush that I was using for the leaves, and I've mixed just some of the titanium white with some burnt sienna, and I've really used a lot of white spirit to thin that down, so it's really, really watery, or really thinned, I suppose I should say, and I'm just using the very tip of the brush, very tip, so we get a nice fine line, just to sort of add a few details within those little gaps in the trees, really. That's the sort of thing. And even just pick out a few more sort of lighter branches there, perhaps where the light's just catching it. Make sure you don't get too much on your brush, because you do want a very fine line. Now, another thing I'm going to do, just to kind of need to make it look a little bit less regular, is I'll use a different brush. So I'm going to use this fan brush, and I'm going to get some lighter areas. I'm going to use that paint without any thinner, so that it gives us a little bit more of a stippled look, and it will really make these canopies look sort of strong. So that brush, because it's giving us a less, sort of more of a furry look, it just breaks it up a little bit, so it doesn't look quite so sort of painted. Makes it look a bit more realistic. I also think that it's a springtime, because we've got a lot of the sort of flowers and the blossom in this tree here, and sometimes when the leaves are coming out, they tend to look in areas a little bit warmer when they're sort of in buds. So I'll put a few areas like that in as well. So we'll do that now, just to show you. So just adding a bit of that burnt sienna, maybe a bit of touch of the burnt umber there as well, just so it doesn't go too light. And just using the corner of the fan brush, getting a nice soft canopy in there.
Will I cry? Will I leave behind broken and crumbled signs, hiding all my roads to you? And if I fight